Last but not the least, eat more vegetables like Daniel.
If you want to be strong, eat
Yeah.
more vegetables. Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to Steve and Shap's podcast. I am Stephen Deverma.
And I am Shapung. Thank you for joining in today.
Today we are going to talk about healthy lifestyle for young
Mhm.
adults, particularly from the perspective of young adults here who are living abroad. Uh, when I say a healthy lifestyle, we are going to look at the physical aspects, spiritual, and mental health of young adults.
Yeah, and talking about healthy lifestyle, the simple meaning of health is a state in which there is an absence of illness or disease. But World Health Organization in 1984, I believe, um, defines health as a state in which it is just uh, as a state in which one is not merely free from disease or illness, but it is a state of wellness in one's social life, mental and physical. But as a Christian, I think our spiritual health is very important. And when we talk about healthy lifestyle, I think maintaining a healthy spiritual life and correspondingly maintaining a healthy lifestyle is really important. And one thing that um, one of the reasons why this has been of great one of the reasons why this is an important topic is because Stefan and I will live far from home. As a
Mhm.
Christian, when we are at home, we're close with our friends, especially with our church friends, brothers and sisters. We hang out every week. But unfortunately, when you're far from home, you have to adapt to the new, community. And so, yeah, Stefan, why don't you tell us about your life and where you are right
Okay.
now?
Yeah, thank you. So currently, I'm in Chiang Mai, Thailand. It's the second biggest city in Thailand. Chiang Mai is a nice place to live in. People come here for vacation, and other parts of Thailand they offer you beach and all other things. Chiang Mai offers you mountains, and also you can have good time going in the mountains in the nature. So this is Chiang Mai. It's very beautiful. And for me coming to Chiang Mai was a difficult one, like in the first few months. But by God's grace, I have found this beautiful community of Christians, friends who I can pray with, who I can hang out with, and I feel very much at home. But it was not so easy in the first few days, because when you come to new place, the first thing that you will realize is you don't have this friend that you had at home, and then you start suddenly realizing that you just know handful of people, and there are times after work you will feel you're alone, lonely, and
Yeah.
all those type of things. You need to make a new lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and if you don't meet the right kind of people, the lifestyle that you build could really go wrong. And I'm happy that God has given me this wonderful friends here in Chiang Mai, and life has been good. Tell
Yeah.
us about you, how it has been in New Orleans.
Yeah. I also am far from home like Stefan, and I live in New Orleans, Louisiana. And I've lived here in the city for nearly 7 years. I came here in 2016, August. When I first came here, what fascinated me is that New Orleans is, a very fun-filled city. You must have heard of Mardi Gras. It's a very famous carnival just before Lent. People from all over the world come in here. And New Orleans is also famous for its music, blues and jazz. Personally, I'm a musician. I play music. I play guitar and piano. So it has been, very enriching for me and an enriching experience to, get to hear people play on the streets or go for concerts. But like Stefan said, when you come here, initially maybe looking at the new environment, all the glittering things, but there are times when you feel lonely. You're getting used to a new place. You're hanging out with people that belong to different culture, that speak different language, that eat different food. So you don't, people say this, nothing like home, or nothing like home food. So
Exactly.
basically, there are ways where you have to learn how to, there are circumstances where you need to learn how to adapt to a new place, and that has been a journey. you know and every now and then I feel homesick. uh, so
Yeah.
that's the reality of living far from home. But as a Christian, um, wherever we go, it is really important for us to find, a healthy community and healthy activities, that will keep us busy. So one of the things that came to my mind today as we were thinking about this podcast is the life of Daniel. Daniel was a young adult like Stephen and I, maybe in his, or maybe younger than us, I don't know. But
Yeah.
what happened was, he and his friends were taken as captives to the land of Babylon. Babylon is in modern day Iraq. It's about 1,700 miles, which is close to 2,700 kilometers from the land of Israel. So they were taken as captives there to live in a foreign land. And since he and his friends belonged to a noble family, they were summoned by the king to work in his court for some, you know, maybe for some cool job, cool work. But what fascinates me, or what's interesting about Daniel, is that he and his friends did not lose their identity. In chapter 1, verse 8, it says that Daniel made a decision in his heart that he would not defile himself with the king's food and with his drink. Um, and in return, they were to eat only vegetables. So that I don't know if I can do that, but anyways, um, it was really important for him to maintain the dietary laws. That was his identity as a promised children or child of God. And so Daniel kept his identity, and in lots of ways we can relate with him as a Christian. He may not be experiencing the warmth and comfort of living in Israel. He's far from
True.
home.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you think, Stefan, when you think about Daniel?
Yeah, I mean, Daniel's life has been a great challenge for me. I have been reading him since the time I came to know the Lord, and every time I read about the stories of Daniel and the way he faced all these challenges, it really challenges me to be a better version of myself. And talking about how food, like talking about this food, like eating only vegetables. I don't know, for people like who are living in this era, it must have sound really impossible. I don't think I can live on vegetables. But yeah, like it is that decision that he made, God honored it. And he, like, even the Bible says, even though they ate those vegetables, like they were stronger, right? They grew really just like the others. And even they say, I if I'm sorry, I did not go through the, yeah,
Yeah,
it says,
their
I think somewhere
faces were their
yeah, it
faces
says
were
that
not.
they were even stronger than the other man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that clearly shows how God, when you do something in honor of God, God honors it. And I think that is something we can take away. And when you're living in a foreign land, you will be put in such circumstances where you have to make these choices.
Mhm.
And I have seen that in my life here, when people are planning something beautiful, that sounds very beautiful, but again, you have to see, will God be happy if you're doing that? And it is a test, and if you overcome those tests, you will only be spiritually stronger, spiritually be stronger. And I'm when you are sharing about it, I was also reminded of how Daniel and his friends decides not to bow down before the idol, and how they were so strong, right? Strong about their faith and the principles that they learn. Oh, it
True.
really it's so amazing. What do
Hmm.
you say?
Yeah, it is. It is really amazing. Yeah, I agree with you. And one of the things why they were able to, stand and not bow down to the image of the king was because of their deep foundation, of faith. As a college student, I remember when I moved far from home when I was in India, I realized, that oh, now I'm away from home, far from home, far from my family or my community, and I have that, sense of independence. And sometimes that can be very subtle. It can lead you to, making bad friendships, and also it can lead you to do things that you're not supposed to do. But here we see, the lives of Daniel and his friends. They remained faithful, to what they were taught. So I think when we talk about, spiritual health, this is something that we can apply, knowing your identity as a Christian, as a follower
True,
of Christ,
true.
and not, you know not get carried away. And yeah, and one of the things that I think is important for us is to remember that when we know our identity, even though we make mistakes, we will come back to where we belong. A lot of times we think Christianity is about, perfection. Christianity is about, not making any mistake. And when we have such kind of mindset, people that make mistake, one mistake and they're gone, they don't come
Gone,
back.
guilt and all that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, but I think the reason why Jesus died for us is so that every time we make mistake, we can confess. That's what First John chapter 1 and 2 talks about. So yeah, I think knowing our identity is really important to for our spiritual health. Yeah, and yeah, when we talk about physical and mental health, how do you cope up with this thing? For me, I really like to play football or soccer. We call it soccer here in America because they have their own version of football. But I love playing soccer with friends, and that's one of the ways in which I exert my body, or I go to the gym, and I think there are many people who are more qualified than me to talk about this, but I think building a healthy lifestyle also includes setting routines for such physical activities. What do you say, Stefan?
Yeah.
I see a
So,
lot of your Instagram posts. You play badminton,
oh
this
yeah,
and that. Yeah.
yesterday, right?
Tell us more about that.
Yeah. So, in Chiang Mai, we have big Northeast community, and
Oh,
there are many groups, in WhatsApp where we have a group of badminton, but these are all Christian communities, and
okay.
according to what we like, again we have some common grounds. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like, there is one uncle and his family, and like two three other friends, we like to play badminton. So we play badminton. So Fridays we play football. On
Mm-hmm.
Sundays I play with some Thai church friends here. Some evenings when I can, I go join them. So yeah, the playing games and meeting friends and building a good relation, and like this has become a place where I'm able to associate with people. And yeah, by God's grace, playing, knowing how to play football, knowing how to play badminton has helped me, and didn't
Mm-hmm.
feel lonely. Like I said, initially when I came, it was very difficult. Now I
Mm-hmm.
have this weekdays which is packed. Like Monday, I go to
Mm-hmm.
gym. Tuesday I go to badminton, Wednesday prayer meeting, Thursday like yesterday we played badminton, Friday
Mhm.
we have today Friday here we have our Indian communities are coming together to play
Mhm.
football. Saturdays like it's completely packed, and this is amazing. Yeah, it
Man,
is
your
amazing.
schedule. I envy your schedule.
Yeah, it is really
That is
tight,
amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
and it's a
For me,
blessing. It's I am not complaining, it's a blessing.
it is a blessing. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, Stephen is a very outgoing person. So, that's a gift. Yeah, for me, one of the challenges that I face living in New Orleans is here people are very individualistic, unlike Asian communities where people are more, community
Community,
based,
exactly.
so sometimes you're on your own, and it's easier for me to make connections with people from our own place. And so sometimes weekends when I don't have work, it can be hard, it can be, like you said, it can be lonely sometimes. But uh so I don't know what situation you are in, but these are things that everyone go through, and so when I think it is really important for us to identify moments, when you are vulnerable, when you are, weak, so that, based on identifying when you are, vulnerable, you can fortify yourself, you can be prepared, fill up your activities like Stefan, find out ways and means,
True,
one of the
true.
things that I do to use my time is, to read books, or sometimes, I play FIFA. I like to play FIFA, and
That's why I never beat you. You've been training
yeah,
every day.
you better practice. Yeah, and previous, like few years ago, I had friends who I play music together with, so we would go play, in different venues, just play music. That was a good experience. So um, I built friendship around people who I share common interests with. So those are one of the things where you can develop your social life. And I think this is a very subjective topic, but the principle behind all these is that I think we really need to invest in activities that will promote your mental and social well-being. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's something that I wanted to say.
yeah. Like living with a tight schedule is a blessing. Like I said, you don't have to worry a lot of things, but staying alone at times, it could be very depressing. You start thinking about a lot of things, particularly when you are after work you are staying like 4 or 5 hours you're all by yourself. How much can you be in the internet? How much can you watch the TV? How much can you cook, at times? And for me, I found that phase of my everyday life very challenging at one point when I was going through some personal problems in my life. And that time was very difficult. Well, in India things would be different. I would talk about it to my friends, and I just share them my problems, and they would counsel me, like counsel me as a friend. They would encourage me, help me to understand the situation, and that way it was different. But in Thailand, after I came, I found that part to be very challenging at times. When I am sad, low, how do you deal with this type of situation where you are depressed or you're not feeling well, you know we have those
Yeah,
days, right?
yeah. One of the things that we can deal with that is to recognize that this is something everybody in the world face. No matter no matter what your financial status is or how spiritual you are, you're going to face that. And then one of the things that we discover in the book of Psalms is there are psalms of praise, songs of praises, exaltation, but at the same time there are lots of psalms with lament. The psalmist crying, and pouring out their hearts to God. So one of the things that we can cope with this is to recognize that there's evil and suffering in this world, and
Mhm.
second thing would be, to wait on God, to wait on God, and also, um, third point, which is, which is one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast, is to build relationships with
Mhm.
godly friends. They may not live together
True,
with you in the same place,
true,
but
true.
how fortunate are we that we can communicate with phone instantly to
Mhm.
anybody
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
anywhere
Honestly,
in
yeah,
the
true.
world. So
Mhm.
I think that is one of the ways you can cope with that.
Mhm.
Ideally, it is best if you go, meet a person face to face, talk together,
Mhm.
go out, hang out in the
Yes.
park, pray together. But yeah, so today I think, we've said enough for today. But
Mhm.
some of the main takeaways from today's, session is that, I think first of all we need to build meaningful relationships with fellow believers,
Mhm.
and have a disciplined lifestyle. Stefan has, elaboratively explained to us, how his tight schedule is a blessing to him. That is
Yeah.
that is amazing. Communicate with people, that you share interests with, and importantly, those that are Christians, fellow Christians.
Mhm.
And thirdly, last but not the least, eat more vegetables like Daniel.
Yeah, true, true, true.
Yeah,
If you want to be strong, eat
yeah.
more vegetables.
You need meat, you need proteins too, but you need vegetables as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully we'll catch up soon again, for the next podcast. This is our first one, so we would really appreciate your support. And leave us, your comments, your thoughts. And we want to talk about things that will not only, you know be beneficial for us. This has been a benefit for me, and hopefully it is also beneficial for you. We want to talk about things that will promote godliness and a healthy lifestyle for our viewers. Thank you.
Thank you.